just thought I'd show you the beginnings of my, how can I say this, hypoaspis mites culture. So that's what you get, 2000. Go to this company, Dragonfly, this is their care sheet. It's Dragonfly, spelt wrong, spelt weird, .co.uk, but this is, as far as I know, the only people who actually do them anyway. Let's do this so you can actually read this on the video. But basically, yeah, I'm just going to go down this, hopefully at a speed. You could read this if you wanted to. Pause the video. I've been doing some research because I want to culture these. This is my take on the culture. That's my standard isopod mix in there. It's a sort of mix of some soil I bought from an ant supplier. Actually, it was supposed to be organic, but I've baked it anyway. Some baked, what were they? Boiled oak leaves. I went out and collected a load of leaves. You have to collect them from places where dogs don't wee on them. Anyway, that's a piece of dried white wood. Well, rotten. I don't know what you call it. It's almost fossilised. It's really old. I dug it up from the bottom of a tree when I was fencing it. That's that. These are bits of moss that have come off my roof, and they just hold moisture really well. I haven't got to worry about mites with these particularly, but I found that moss doesn't seem to carry many creatures anyway, because it's come off the roof. This is something I do, and I do it with my isopods. I do it with my dubia roaches, but I put some of that clay substrate over the top, and it acts like a sort of, it holds moisture below it. That's the way of putting it. I haven't put a moisture layer in. This is actually quite shallow, probably a centimetre, maybe, just over a centimetre deep, which is a lot shallower than I would do for isopods, because I want to be, every time I need to use these mites, I'm going to be taking it out, and I'm also going to be adding to it. I'm going to put in bits of charcoal and covered in springtails. So I'm going to be feeding on springtails to keep the culture alive, is the plan. They need very similar, going back to this care sheet, a rich organic material content, and it needs to be moist. So they're very similar to to most of these sort of things, soil-dwelling creatures like isopods, springtails. They like it a bit moist. I've already moistened this up. I'm going to just warm it slightly now, and warm them slightly, because I'm going to use some of them before they go in this. Some of them are actually going to go into a little. I'll do a video, I'll show it anyway, but I'm going to put them into a mini outworld or the test tube that's already on, and connect it to the Auroventris, because they've definitely got some mites on them. I see them itching away and stuff. They might not be the worst mites in the world, because they've not killed any. They've had them for, well, I've noticed them sort of on Thursday, and they seem to be able to deal with them quite well actually themselves, but they're still there. And I'm more worried about the queen than all the rest, to be honest. Saw her itching a bit last night. So but I don't really want the substrate that comes with these mites scattered all out throughout the whole outworld and everything. I mean, the Auroventris do need a whole new setup soon anyway, but it's annoying. I did it with the Ruginodus. I put it in and regretted it, because from then on I couldn't really clean it out properly, and there's all these bits of vermiculite and soil everywhere, and it was annoying. So I'm hopefully putting it into a separate place where the mites can walk out into their container, find their way around into the nest and do the job, and that's that. And the nest has already been seeded with loads of springtails, so yeah, they've got food if they don't find enough mites to eat. Yeah, so that's what you get. And I want this, as an ant keeper, I would like to have these on hand all the time, because when you get mites, you want to deal with them quick. You don't want to be waiting a week postage or anything. They're not too bad. I ordered these on Friday, it came in, it's Monday. Okay, thanks, bye. Don't know if you're going to be able to see them there, but yeah, there they are. So I've just I put a brand new, it's the same test tube, I've cleaned it out, and then I've refilled it full of water, a nice new bit of cotton, and then I've, that's the soil the Hypoaspis mites come in, see them in there, and then in the end of that I've put a bit of tissue in to stop, cotton, to stop the ants being able to drag this soil out. So I'll make the right one, but that's what is hopefully going to work. The ants will probably burrow in there. The mites will get on the ants, so the ants will not come out and go into the nest, I don't know yet. You can see I've moved that, it's a bit annoying. But, get them back over. Yeah, I've disturbed them a little bit. But hopefully that'll work, kill off. This is the Auroventris looking at the test tube. So they can get in if they really want to, I'm sure they can. That's not a big piece of cotton. And yeah, they've been sort of standing around near it basically, having a good look in and wondering what it is. Hopefully things are going well from that point of view. Just to look at it, it's sort of steamed up basically. It's full of the soil with the mites in it, and that's their. It's going to be the ants' water test tube anyway. It just remains to be seen whether they're going to make a right mess of all the soil or not. As I say, the Auroventris are getting ready for a bit of a change round anyway. They could do with a bigger outworld, because they're getting a bit adventurous, let's put it that way. When they're all going for it, they can. They haven't got out. They can't get out. Oh, that's a little, probably just a springtail on the glass at the front here. But yeah, they've piled stuff up on top of the water feeder a few times now, so they can climb up onto the top of that outworld and just be a bit naughty, really, hanging off the mesh at the top. 3 or 4 of them at a time. And it's just, they've just seemed to have got to the point where they really appreciate a big outworld. I'm sure they would. But also, you know, I think I've solved the problem with the mould inside the nest actually by putting the springtails in. That was the idea. Although these springtails are probably all going to be food now. So there's that mouldy area in the nest, that central section, which is probably what sprung the mites on me. So I've been very, very careful with what I fed them and everything else. It's the only thing I haven't been careful about. I couldn't really do anything with. So I had that idea. Well, that's just a couple of ants thinking about it. I'd like to see them. I might pull that cotton out a bit anyway myself, I don't know. But I think that they'll do it out of curiosity. And hopefully the mites can sort of slowly walk out of there and find their way into the nest and work their way around slowly, eating all the different mites and nasty little things that there might be in there. Thinking about it. Typical that the ants that are coming out to look at this tube haven't got any mites on them. The place to look is the base of the legs. You see these little off-white sort of spots at the base of the legs. Seems to be the bigger ants. These are both sort of small and medium, I suppose you'd say. These. Yeah, let you think about it. You're going to have to pull that cotton a bit out of the way to be able to get in. As I say, I've left a gap. I think if they really wanted to, they could force their way in. Could be a bigger ant at the back there. See some lights. Yeah, here he is. That's it. Oh, go on. In you go. In you go, son. Yes. There we are. I thought they would be able to. And that little brownish thing you just saw then, I think that was one of the hypoaspis. They need to have a better name, don't they? Predatory mites. I think that's one of them. As soon as he goes in there, they're going to be interested in it. It's meant to be not easy for him to get in, so he can't bring out tons of soil. It's just packed full of soil, that is. But these ants are brilliant diggers. They absolutely love it, so I wouldn't be surprised if they make a right mess and dig a tunnel through there. Don't particularly want them to make a nest in there, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. Doesn't really matter. I suppose secretly I'm hoping that the new Cushy Camponotus nest is going to be what I'm looking for. And these ants are the most sort of thriving colony. Could potentially go into that. I don't know yet. I haven't seen it. It's coming out at the end of this week, I think. Well, next week he said a week. Asked him last night, he said a week. So maybe next week. So this big ant's coming over. Can you see the mites on it now? Maybe not. Just at the base of his legs, you see it's a bit white. I fully accept I'm maybe overreacting a little bit. Yeah, no, you can see it in the background there, just water that feeder. The bigger ants, when they come out, they seem to have something there. And as I say, on last Thursday, I happened to be off work looking after my daughter. They had a mass sort of scratching. There was about 10 different workers all sat out there, including big ones and little ones. Some of them were spraying the side of the outworld, and they were all just sat there like preening themselves and having a right itch. Yeah, now you can see it. Look. See underneath this sort of head area, around that area. That's one of the. I haven't got any majors yet, but these must be mediums. I don't know. mediums have got it. I haven't seen it on any of the really small ones. Maybe they can just get it off easier. That might go a little bit with Ryan Antscape's theory about the Ruginodus, that the shape of the ants, when they're that certain size and length, they can deal with mites easily. That might be why Ruginodus don't seem to be affected too much by mites. As soon as they get this a little bit bigger, they can't do it. You see a bit more on his body there. Yeah, that's my alarm. So yeah, I'm hopeful that this is going to work.